Welcome back, my friends. This is Dustin Nemos, and this is your daily MAGA update. So, the U.S.-led coalition against the Islamic State, which is also known as ISIS, has closed down a headquarters responsible for ground operations in Baghdad, which is sort of a symbolic ending of major combat operations in Iraq. So we're pulling out of Iraq, which is good. Roy Moore, remember him? Roy Moore is suing all of his accusers. Okay, this is a big league politics article, and it says last year's special election to find a replacement for Alabama's junior senator was rocked when Judge Roy Moore, who was poised to win the seat, was hounded by rumors of sexual assault from 3 women. Those claims were so damaging to his reputation that Doug Jones, an unknown Democrat candidate, was able to beat Moore on election night. And there was definitely a lot of iffy stuff going on there, and some of us in the Q community kind of wondered if maybe Trump had allowed that election to be cheated in order to gain evidence on how the Democrats were rigging elections and stuff. That said, everybody had kind of heard it was like 10 women or some large number of women. Apparently it was only 3. And I remember some of the inconsistencies in those stories, like the woman that says she worked at the restaurant but didn't really work in that restaurant, and says he raped her behind the restaurant, but it was actually on the side where the dumpsters were. Just all of these, she kind of smudged the yearbook as well, the signature. The yearbook woman, you'll remember her. Anyway, that's, sorry about the noise in the background. I live in the downtown of a small town, so sometimes there's noise, but not always. And also breaking, Mueller warns he may subpoena Trump, this is a kind of more hostile turn. Move of desperation, I guess. Doesn't seem like he really has much to go on. He's just kind of grasping at straws, and it seems like their best bet is just to try to process crime and catch Trump in something like he slipped up and said the wrong thing to the FBI and therefore lied to the FBI and something like that. I mean, if you ask people the same thing twice over a period of months, or 3 or 4 times over a period of months, sometimes the story might change because it's just how people work. I mean, our brains just... this is why eyewitnesses are extremely unreliable. Like, they can completely misremember things later on in court, and it's actually a problem. Kanye. Again, Kanye's back in the news. He tells his fans how Republicans freed the slaves. Liberals are going crazy, and since then he's done even more stuff. There's a lot of excitement coming out with Kanye. He's been seen again with Candace Owens and other conservatives. He is just sort of directly going into the Death Star to blow it up, sort of in a Star Wars example. Right at the end when Luke, the original Star Wars, when Luke goes into the Death Star and blows it up or hits the right sweet spot. I think that's exactly what is happening here with Kanye and the Democrat thought control. He's just kind of setting off nukes from the inside. It's great. I can't even express how great that is for the long-term game. U.S. officials say that Israel is preparing for war with Iran, and basically Netanyahu is laying it out to try to bring us into this war. He even did his little presentation in English. I saw some funny remakes of his presentation where it showed the amount of land Palestine controlled versus Israel in 4 separate slides, and it just gets way, way, way bigger for Israel. There's like no Palestinian side left. I know that there is some immorality on the Israeli side of the Palestinian versus Israeli thing. I think you can accept that and still be more for Israel than 3 billion Muslims that want to kill us all. That's kind of my position on it. Like, I'm not pro-Israel, I'm just anti-Islam from a sense of self-preservation. It's just not healthy culture. So, Congressman is introducing a Make Sanctuary Cities Pay for the Wall Act. This is pretty exciting. I don't know if it's going to actually get anywhere, but basically he wants to defund sanctuary cities. He says there's over 300 of them, and then put that money into the wall and solve major issues all over the place. It's a really smart idea, very pragmatic and businesslike. I doubt it will actually pass. President Trump reportedly promised Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul, in a private conversation that he was planning on pulling troops out of Afghanistan. And this is from the Washington Post. And getting the hell out of Afghanistan is kind of how they titled it. So that's more toward the benefit of having two wonderful dogs that I absolutely love and adore is that anytime there's a dog outside that barks, they sound the alarms. Hell is here. All things are ending. We have to mount the defense. They're all over it. So that's what that was. And I'm just going to combine these videos together so you guys can skip all the loud noises. I was kind of saying how that's Trump pulling out. That's a clear pattern. You know, Iran, Afghanistan, attempted Syria, pulling troops home. That's great news. It's sort of I'm hoping that his thought on this is the walk softly, carry a big stick approach and avoid foreign entanglements. That's kind of how we used to be here in the U.S. We didn't start problems. We didn't try to police the world. We didn't go looking for issues elsewhere. We sort of just kept to ourselves, kept a strong perimeter fence against danger, and it just kind of dominated the world economy. That's the power of the gold standard and a little bit of freedom. And, you know, in the beginnings, a small government. I like to tell this a lot, but used to be that you could go your entire life and never meet an employee of the federal government. Imagine the days. Anyway, this next piece is not for children, so you may want to pause it and get them out of the room. It is basically a veteran accused of, I'm sorry, not a veteran, a veterinarian accused of implanting liquid heroin in puppies. This is a Colombian drug trafficking ring, and this guy was actually extradited to the U.S. I don't think he's a citizen, but he was sewing heroin into puppies' bellies, shipping them to, I think, New York City, and people were cutting the puppies open to get the heroin out, and just letting the puppies die. So that happened. I don't think I need to make comment on that. But that kind of stuff happens in this world. WikiLeaks Twitter account, this may or may not be QAnon relevant, but WikiLeaks Twitter account tweeted out, quote, Assange or WikiLeaks. Or was capitalized. That's all that was capitalized. So, can't figure out that one. I haven't heard any great interpretations of it or anything like that. It's kind of a strange thing that they would tweet that out and then they actually deleted it afterwards. So, you know, Assange or WikiLeaks. Laura Loomer says that 7 months after the Las Vegas shooting, and some video from the 32nd floor is finally being released tomorrow. Okay, remember recently I reported that the judge had ordered the video to be released in Vegas. Only problem is, she says, there are no cameras in the hallways of the 32nd floor. The video being released is police cam video. As we all know, CGI takes a lot of time. So she thinks they're faking this, and they've been sitting on it long enough to do faked videos, because she actually snuck into the hotel and got to the 32nd floor. I think she snuck through the service elevator, and she managed to actually confirm there were no cameras in the hallways. Okay, she's got a lot of tweets out on this issue if you want to check out Laura Loomer. That's like the go-to place for Vegas news. And which is the other that I really like for that? It doesn't matter. There's a couple places that are really good for Vegas news. Thomas Paine at True Pundit, I think, is the other one. And Kim Jong-un agrees to meet for talks with Trump at the inter-Korean zone, right in the middle. So that is really cool, too. that said, I think that's it for the major points from 5.1.18, and I will see you guys later. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like these updates. I'm just bringing all of these important issues to you guys for a very quick digest. You have busy lives. I will see you guys next time. Have a good night.